this week's Ask Dr. Nikki comes from fake name Mary. So Mary asks, what are your views on polyamory? Do you think it can work? Or they've said polygamy. Now, when it comes to open relationships, we're still trying to answer that question. As human beings, are we meant to be monogamous, or are we meant to be non-monogamous? And we have all these people going back to bonobos and all sorts of animals, looking at our biology and looking at, well, maybe we weren't meant to be, or maybe we were meant to be. I don't care what biology says. I care what works for you. And this is where we actually need to look at something like opening a relationship or having an open relationship and look at, is this what works for me? Is this what I want? For a lot of people, monogamy is what they choose, whether it is natural or not. It's not about what is natural or not. It's not natural for us to wear clothes. It's a social construct. It's not natural for us to get married. That's a social construct, a religious one as well. A lot of what we do in life is not what we were born to do necessarily. As women, we were born to have children before 30. Now look at what we're doing. It's about a choice. So make sure that you are choosing whether you would like to have more people in your relationship or just one person. Now, if you are going to be looking at opening a relationship or entering into an open relationship, the biggest thing is communication. It doesn't really differ from everyday relationships because communication is important in those as well. But even more so when you're looking at multiple people, whether it is an open relationship or polygamy, where it's more about love and those connections rather than let's go out to a swingers club and have sex with other people. You need to be able to talk about things like jealousy, about rules. A lot of people are always looking for like a rule book when it comes to opening a relationship or being polyamorous or being a polygamist. It's so important that you work out what works for you and understand that you can take that into your own hands. There's a great term some people like to call monogamous, which means they don't really have like other partners. They might in their lifespan, but maybe they'll have another sexual partner, or maybe they'll have a three-way, or maybe they will every so often go to some form of a sex club or a swingers club. It doesn't mean that it's just a free-for-all. You need to create this relationship the way that it works for you. Maybe there are rules where you need to talk to each other first before you go out and pursue another person, or the other person has to approve of each other's other partners outside of the primary partners. Are you going to have primary and secondary, or are you going to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend that you share? These are all things that you need to consider. You also really need to talk about jealousy. Jealousy is one of those things that's made up of multiple emotions. When we feel insecure, when we feel angry, when we feel threatened, like somebody might leave us, it's not just being the green-eyed monster. There's a reason why we feel jealous. Now, if someone doesn't feel great about themselves, maybe their work's not going great, their health's not going great, they don't like the way that they look, and they see their partner flirting with someone else, on another day, they might be completely fine with that. On this day, they might go, I'm not good enough. They're going to leave me for this other person. It's not a matter of an open relationship anymore. What happens if they get sick of me and they're more attractive? These are all sorts of things that go through anyone's mind. The problem is that when you're entering into an open relationship, then you might feel guilty and think, oh, hang on, but I agreed to this. So do I even have the right to feel jealous? Yes, you do, but you need to talk about that jealousy with your partner. Why is it there? Why is it happening? Do you need to fine tweak the rules that you have in your relationship? Maybe it's a matter of giving you more security and giving you more control. Maybe it's something that's going on in your life. Maybe your partner needs to support you through some period where you're just not feeling yourself. There may be periods where you close the relationship to work on it, to work on yourselves and open it up again. These are all things that you need to consider. But when we look at the success rates of people who are in open relationships and people who are monogamous, I think that both can work and both cannot work. The same issues that you have in open relationships, you have in monogamous ones as well. People still get jealous, people still fight, people still have conflict, people still have different ideas about parenting and life and how they want to run a household, whether they have a husband and a boyfriend or whether they just have a husband. So I hope that helps, and I wish you all the best on your journey if this is something that you are exploring. Now, if you have an Ask Dr. Nikki question, make sure you jump onto my Facebook page and shoot me a message. You can ask me anything. Bye.